All right, geometry. We are starting off today doing a little bit of review because it's been a while since we've talked about slope. But 3.3 mainly talks about parallel and perpendicular slopes. Okay, so we for graphs, just a little reminder. This is a positive because it's going up from left to right, and this would be negative because it's going down from left to right. If it's going straight across, that's 0. Straight up and down, that's undefined. Okay, so just a quick reminder for graphs, it's rise over run. Okay, so how many up over how many down? So just going to do these first two here. So for the first one, how many up, how many down? I'm going up how many, over how many. So up 1, 2, 3, 4, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you don't have to use all those markings if you don't want. You can count them however you would like. But that's our rise over run. And it's positive because it's going up from left to right. And so that's my slope. So same thing for number 2. It's going to be from here to here. So right here I've got up and down 3. So rise is 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And again, before I figure out what the sign is, or what the reduced fraction is, it's going down from left to right. So it's negative. And then obviously 3 over 6 reduces to 1 over 2. And so negative 1 over 2 is my slope. Okay? So the same thing goes for ordered pairs. But we can't use rise over run, so what we have to do is use the slope formula, which is y minus y over x minus x. Okay? So now for AB, I've got 2 points, xy and xy. It doesn't matter which one you start with, just as long as you start with the same one on top and bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and start with B. So negative 1 is the y value, so negative 1 minus 5 over, since I start with negative 1, I got to start with 6. So 6 minus negative 2. So anytime you have minus minus, you can change that to plus, and I end up with negative 6 over 8. Well, that reduces because I can divide both of those by 2. So it's negative 3 over 4. And there we are. So in the same fashion, I'm doing y minus y once again. But this time I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm going to start with this one again. So this is 7 minus negative 3, which becomes plus. And then negative 6 minus negative 11, which becomes plus as well. So that's going to be 7 plus 3 is 10. Negative 6 plus 11 is 5. And so 10 divided by 5 is 2, or 2 over 1, either way. Okay, so that's finding the slope. All right, so what we're doing in geometry with slope is talking about parallel and perpendicular. So this is really what we're talking about. Parallel and perpendicular. So parallel lines are the ones where, excuse me, parallel lines are the ones that are never going to intersect, that are also going the same direction. Okay, so I want to make sure I'm getting a formal definition for you. All right, so parallel lines have the same slope. Okay? And the symbol that we use for parallel, we've talked about before, is that. Parallel. Okay? In the same way, perpendicular have negative or opposite reciprocal slope. And the symbol we use for that is the upside down T. Okay. And to do the negative reciprocal, again, the negative reciprocal is just when you switch. I always do switch and flip because it sounds like Harry Potter. Switch the sign, so positive or negative, and flip the fraction. So if it starts as 1 over 2, you flip it to 2 over 1. Okay? So for our examples here, switch and flip. Switch the sign, flip the fraction. So opposite reciprocals, it's positive, so I switch the sign, flip the fraction. Switch the sign, flip the fraction. Okay? This one starts as negative, so it's a positive 8 over 7. Switch and flip. Switch and flip. So 1 over 1 switches to 1 over 1. So that one only switches signs. Now this one's a little different because 0 can be on top, but not on the bottom. So when you switch and flip 0, it just becomes undefined. Okay? So let's do a few of these, and then we won't need to spend a whole lot of time on anything else. So we want to figure out if these two slopes, so between A and B and CD, if those are parallel, perpendicular, or maybe they're neither. Okay, so for this first one, my first one for AB is going to be y minus y, so 6 minus 3 over 2 minus negative 2. And so that's going to be 3 over 4. Okay, so same thing. Y minus y is going to be 3 minus 0 over 3 minus negative 1, which becomes plus. So 3 over 4, and there we are. So 3 over 4, 3 over 4. Since they match up, they're parallel. Okay? So same thing here. AB, CD. So AB, I'm going 4 minus 2 over 5 minus 0. So we end up with 2 over 5. There we are. So 2/5. And then same thing. I'm going to start with this one this time. So 8 minus 3 over 1 minus 3. So that gives me 5 over negative 2. Okay, so negative 5 over 2. So we switch the sign, we flip the fraction. Those are parallel. Or not parallel, perpendicular. Okay. So let's go ahead and finish out the page here. A and B, C and D. So B, 6 minus 8 over 2 minus negative 1. So 6 minus 8 is negative 2 over 2 plus 1. So negative 2 over 3. So CD, I'm going to start with 2. Or no, actually, I'm going to start with the 3. So 3 minus 2 over 3 minus negative 1. So I end up with 1 over 4. Okay, so negative 2/3, 1 over 4. So they had different signs, but not the same fraction flipped. So that's neither. Okay. And then finally, A and B again. I've got 4 minus 3 over negative 1 minus 2. So that's 1 over negative 3. So negative 1/3 for AB. And then 6 minus 3 over negative 4 minus negative 5. So that becomes plus. So that's going to be 3 over 1. So 3 over 1. They are flipped, they are switched signs, therefore they're perpendicular. Okay? And so, that's about it. See, there's probably one on the back I wanted to talk about. Yeah, look at number 7. So number 7 is just a little different because it tricks people sometimes. So negative 8 minus negative 10 over 5 minus negative 2. So this is all normal. So 2 over 7, boom. So 2/7. And then the second one, negative 13 minus 1 over negative 6 minus negative 2. So that's negative 14 over negative 4, which can reduce and simplify. So negative and negative makes it positive, and we can divide both of those by 2 to make it 7 over 2. So 7 over 2. Now look at what's going on here. We have 2 over 7, 7 over 2. So it is flipped, but it did not switch signs. So although it looks like it might be perpendicular, it is neither because they didn't switch signs. If this was negative and positive, it would be perpendicular, but in this case it's not. Okay, so that's perpendicular and parallel. Good luck on the homework, and good luck on the knowledge check. Peace.